Mock, WDAY News.
New in the next hour of First News and happening later today. High school students in Fargo are getting a lesson in our nation's veterans. We'll tell you about the film screening taking place today.
And veterans in Fargo can grab a cup of coffee and a free donut this morning at the Fargo Air Museum. We'll tell you about the monthly gathering and the services that will be offered as well.
And a lecture, Economic Development Today at UND, is featuring a chairman of 3 Native American tribes. We'll tell you what he plans to discuss.
Well, we're tracking here this morning. Well, today is going to be similar to yesterday. It's a little breezy, a little cooler for today. A lot of us hanging out below freezing this morning. I've even seen a few teens up in the north. And of course, everyone keeping an eye on Thursday and Friday. Snow is on the way, and we'll be tracking the potential for some high amounts out there. I think some places in the valley, especially across the south, could maybe see up to around 12 inches of snow. So I'll be going over that here in your next hour First News, which starts right now.
You're watching WDAY First News, the news leader.
This is first on First News. A stealthy spring storm has switched gears. How much snow city crews are now preparing for as our storm tracker team is tracking a return to winter midweek.
And gas prices are taking a bite out of pocketbooks. WDAY is breaking down just how much prices have risen over the last month, plus what analysts are predicting for the future.
And I'll tell you what to expect to see during the SWAT training in North Fargo later today.
And First News is taking you to the U.S.-Mexico border this morning, where the Pentagon just approved $1 billion for wall construction. We'll tell you where those barriers are going to be built.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 10th, just after 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Manch.
And I'm Sarah Redlane. And that spring storm that we've been telling you about all week is on the move. I'll toss it to the bearer of bad news here. Jared, we're talking about over a foot of snow in some places.
Yeah, I think that'll be kind of moving in here as we continue into Thursday and Friday. We're just to the south of us. Heavy snow is already moving into eastern South Dakota, northeastern South Dakota. For us today, it is a little drier air situated over us, especially up to our northeast. We have a northeast wind, so it's kind of holding off a lot of that snow to our south and west of us here. So just meaning that we're having a dry and cool day coming up. Still a lot of weather headlines, including blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings, all this meaning that this is on the way for our area. I think the toughest travel conditions will be just to the south. We're at the blizzard warning, Sisseton to Alexandria, so it isn't too far away. We're still going to be windy here, but just not as much wind as will feature just to the south of us. But the winter storm warning just indicating that we are going to have some higher accumulating snow along the way. Today, the snow will stay to the south of us as we head into tomorrow. Snow will start to move into the southern half of the valley in the morning and then lift northward throughout the day. I got that pause at 9 a.m. there. You can see a lot of snow across parts of the eastern Dakotas, spreading into northern Minnesota by the evening hours. So snow and blowing snow already moving in to our area on Thursday, and could even have some pretty heavy accumulation of snow, especially in the southern half of the valley into parts of South Dakota, Minnesota. Breezy this morning. It's going to be breezy today, and it's kind of chilly out there. Definitely want to grab the jacket as you're stepping out the door. We have some 20s, even 19 in Rolla, so a little cooler forecast for today as we're only going to warm up to some mid to upper 30s out there for today, and it'll stay pretty cloudy. So chilly and breezy today for today's travel, but of course, looking ahead toward tomorrow into Friday, big changes. It's going to be tough getting around the region, especially as we head into your Thursday and Friday forecast.
The morning commute will be a lot more hectic in Grand Forks this morning.
The Point Bridge closed yesterday, so that means all 35,000 cars that cross the red every day in Grand Forks have to now use the Kennedy Bridge. Usually 14,000 cars use it daily. During rush hour, drivers say it takes a good extra 20 minutes to get around, but most realize there's little that can be done. The Red River is not expected to crest until this weekend in Grand Forks. However, the Sorley and Point Bridges won't reopen right away. They still need to be inspected. And drivers in the northwest Minnesota are having a difficult time getting to some areas because of overland flooding.
Water in Norman County is now covering highways there. Just south of Halstead, Minnesota, Highway 75 is closed because of floodwaters. The only way to get into Halstead right now is to come from the north. The road will be closed south from Halstead to around Hendrum. WDAY News learned that the water level has gone up nearly 12 feet in just the last week. And right now, County Road 18 is closed just north of Ada because of a bridge collapse.
Snowmelt, runoff, and ice are being blamed for taking out this bridge at about 8 miles from Ada. The bridge collapsed Monday night. The sheriff's office says there is water on several roads in the area, and you're encouraged to find an alternate route. A North Fargo neighborhood will be busy later today as the Red River Valley SWAT team takes over the streets.
And WDAY News reporter Bailey Burton is live for us this morning from the area to tell us what kind of training we can expect to see. Good morning, Bailey.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Sarah. I'm standing right next to 7th Avenue North. This is the area in which SWAT will be practicing their training drills at. It's right near the 1100 block. You can expect that to happen later tonight in just a few hours. There will be a lot of law enforcement in this area blocking roads and warning people as they practice. Now, here's what you need to know. I've made a list for you here. They will be conducting a scenario training between 5 and 9:30. This street, 7th Avenue North, will be closed between 7 and 9. SWAT is warning homeowners because you might hear some loud noises and hear some loud voices, but as a reminder, it's all practice. They will have firearms, but they're not loaded. And I did make a call to Fargo PD to find out about homeowners who live in this area. They have said that homeowners should be able to get home. The only time you need to worry about is between 7 and 9 when they will be starting to block traffic. Well, coming up, I'm going to show you some video of training we have from last month. And tell you what other law enforcement agencies are in the mix later today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bailey. Well, we're learning new details this morning about the woman arrested at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Yujing Jiang had an array of sophisticated electronic equipment. Those included a thumb drive, a laptop, an external hard drive, and 4 cell phones. When the Secret Service examined that thumb drive, agents found a malicious file that began to install itself on a computer being used to test it. When they searched her hotel room, investigators found even more. Another cell phone, 5 SIM cards that change a phone's number, 9 USB drives, and a signal detector. That's a device for detecting hidden cameras. So far, Yujing Jiang has only been charged with lying and entering restricted grounds, but prosecutors said in court they're investigating a possible espionage operation.
The NAACP is calling a series of church fires in Louisiana an act of domestic terrorism. 3 different historically black churches in the state have burnt down in just a period of 2 weeks. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards has directed the state fire marshal to aggressively investigate the fires. The FBI is also on the scene. Right now, there are no leads on possible suspects. Some pastors in nearby areas are sleeping inside their churches, hoping to prevent additional fires. Authorities are also looking at a 4th, smaller fire that was set back on March 31st at a Pentecostal church with a predominantly white congregation to see if there's a link. And this morning, police are continuing to investigate the deaths of 2 people that were hit by cars in Grand Forks.
39-year-old Christina Melvin died on Demers Avenue near I-29 early Sunday morning when she was hit by a car. Police tell us she was passing through Grand Forks on Amtrak trains and is from Pennsylvania. Police have spoken with several witnesses, but they're still searching for the person who hit her. WDAY News has also learned that 65-year-old David Hagan of Grand Forks died Monday night on Gateway Drive near I-29. Police say he wasn't using the crosswalk at the time. An investigation is underway, but no charges have been filed.
New York City has declared a state of emergency due to an outbreak of the measles. 285 cases have been diagnosed there since October. Under the new order, city health officials will now comb through vaccination records of those who may have come in contact with infected individuals. Anyone who hasn't been vaccinated or doesn't get vaccinated could be facing a fine of up to $1,000. Mayor de Blasio is even threatening to shut down schools that don't ban unvaccinated children from attending school. The city says it wants people to know they're not messing around in stopping the outbreak.
UND President Mark Kennedy could be leaving the university. Hear what students had to say about the situation and where he could be headed to next.
And Jared is tracking a winter storm that's headed our way. He'll tell you when you can expect it to hit the valley coming up.
Like I said, this is a dipstick.
Dipstick.
We want to be part of something bigger than ourselves, providing for our nation and changing the world. We want full shelves, full tanks, and a full charge. We want commerce and communities overcoming differences, working together, thriving, giving the next generation a reason to stay, and America reason to take note. In this state, it's happening. Our energy from oil and natural gas make it possible. We are the energy of North Dakota.
The toughest truck in the Northland is back for a limited time. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's got best-in-class towing and payload. Also best-in-class horsepower. Plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. Don't miss your chance to get a 2019 Northland Edition F-150. Get over $11,000 in total savings plus $750 Northland cash on a Northland Edition F-150 at your local Northland Ford dealer. Justin Hartley
from the new movie, Little.
Look at them taking out their cameras, which they know they're not supposed to have out right now. But go ahead.
They don't care. We're breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Plus,
can you mimic Ryan Seacrest?
This is American Idol. Brockmeyer's Hank Azaria.
Just by doing that, you can see how difficult my job is, right?
Next Live.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. on WDAY WDAZ.
It takes a team to bring the story home every day. It takes a leader to build a legacy of trust.
As the only locally owned news station in the region, we're there for you at every turn.
We're your neighbors, telling the stories that matter because your community is our community.
So when you need to reconnect, remember that we're working every day, just like you.
Trying to make a better tomorrow.
WDAY News, the only locally owned news station in the region.
We're in, we're out, we're back on the road. Let's go. Here we go. Pick them up, put them down. Get on in there, get a snack, go to the bathroom. Everybody goes to the bathroom. Just make sure the cat goes to the bathroom. We are not stopping anywhere else. The youth will go to the bathroom. Wait, who's that guy? When do we pick him up? All right.
The news is brought to you by the Amish Gallery.
Body camera footage may be introduced today in the trial of a former Minneapolis police officer who shot and killed an unarmed woman.
Mohammed Noor is facing murder and manslaughter charges in the July 2017 death of Justine Damond. Noor shot her when she approached his squad after calling 911 to report a possible sexual assault. The shooting wasn't captured on body camera because Noor and his partner hadn't activated their cameras, but it does show the aftermath of when officers tried to save Damond. Today is the second day of the trial with an official jury in place. Today, the University of Colorado is set to discuss a job offer, which could mean the president of UND might be on his way out.
Mark Kennedy has been president at UND for the last 3 years. The University of Colorado hasn't said who the job offer is for at this point. Most students on UND's campus say they're neutral or don't care that their president could be resigning. The University of Colorado's decision doesn't have to be announced for at least 2 weeks.
And turning to Jared now, it's a lot cooler start today, and it sounds like we need to get used to that the next coming days.
It is going to be pretty chilly here for the next few days at least, and also we're going to be dealing with some snow. Ahead of that, things are pretty quiet, just cool this morning. Some pretty sky views out there this morning. It's kind of looking at the Detroit Lakes Tower Cam. You can see the colors out there this morning. Although we are going to end up staying pretty cloudy throughout the day. Just notice there are a few breaks kind of here and there this morning. Also dealing with a breeze out of the northeast. Yesterday is about straight out of the north. It's going to be just a little breezy for today. More wind is expected as we head overnight tonight into tomorrow, and then it is going to be pretty blustery here for Thursday into Friday. This morning we are dry, as I mentioned, fairly overcast across there. There's some snow just to our south and west, and actually some heavier snow coming down from around Aberdeen off toward eastern South Dakota down into southwestern Minnesota. Even some lightning strikes showing up with the snow, so some thunder snow to our south. Running through Futurecast today, we stay dry, as I mentioned, just a cool one ahead. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, snow will start to move into the southern half of the valley. I'm thinking I-94 into the south. By tomorrow morning's commute, we'll be dealing with some snow already. So coming up here in just a little bit, got the Walk the Dog forecast. Of course, I'm going to go over more of that snowstorm that's on the way, give you an idea how much we could be seeing. Maybe your dogs are the ones that like this. I know most of us are not ready for it. There's only a select few that just want winter to hold on. Well, I guess this is your forecast, but for the rest of us, 99.9% of us, maybe not the best weather coming up here the next couple days. But I'll be going over that today, though, kind of a cool one, kind of like yesterday.
Walmart will soon have more robots working in their stores. What jobs they'll be performing and why labor advocates are worried.
Right now, get 11% off everything at Menards. It's time to rethink cabinetry with Clearview Cabinet Garage. With Clearview, you can custom configure wall, base, and utility cabinets to create the optimal workspace. They feature diamond plate texture doors available in 4 finishes. The full extension drawers hold up to 77 pounds each. And right now, get 11% off all Clearview cabinetry. Only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The toughest truck in the Northland is back for a limited time. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's got best-in-class towing and payload. Also best-in-class horsepower. Plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. Don't miss your chance to get a 2019 Northland Edition F-150. Get over $11,000 in total savings plus $750 Northland cash on a Northland Edition F-150 at your local Northland Ford dealer.
50 is an important number at Bacon Strinden Vision. Not because our doctors have combined for over 50 years experience with complex eye surgery, or because they've done over 50,000 cataract surgeries, but because we celebrated Danny's 50th birthday by throwing him a party, just like we do every year. At Bacon Strinden Vision, you're part of the family.
Attention North Dakota veterans. Did you know there is free transportation provided to veterans for your medical appointments? The service is at no cost to you and available in several highly rural counties throughout the state. Call 1-800-920-9595 or contact your county or tribal veterans service officer for further information. North Dakota Veterans Affairs, proudly serving veterans from around the state with additional resources. This message is sponsored by the Department of Veterans Affairs and aired in cooperation by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
From the courts to your home, witness every exciting play from the 2019 North Dakota Boys and Girls High School Basketball Championships on DVD. Watch the best of the best.
Thompson is Titletown!
DVDs available for a limited time on WDAY-TV.com. $25 plus tax, shipping, and handling for each game. The 2019 North Dakota Boys and Girls High School Basketball Championships on DVD. Order yours today.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
This morning, as you're stepping out the door, it is going to be a little bit on the chilly side. I would describe today to be similar to what we had yesterday. It's going to be a little breezy out there, fairly cloudy, and then just a little bit on the cooler side. Snow was just to our south and west, just west of Aberdeen, south of Sisseton. And we will stay dry out there for today, but different situation for tomorrow as that snow is still on the way here. It's kind of breezy for parts of the area. It's not super windy, but enough to maybe notice a little wind out of the northeast. Forecast to kind of pick up here throughout the day, and I think we'll have more wind later on into the nighttime hours and into tomorrow. So this is at 6 a.m. here tomorrow. Roughly winds approaching a 20-mile-per-hour mark out of the northeast. Otherwise, temperatures this morning, a lot of us in the 20s. It's 21 in Bemidji, 19 in Rolla, picking out some of the chillier spots, 29 in Fargo right now, 25 in Grand Forks. Now, this morning we got Draco Alexander. Katie had sent this in, cute little guy there. So thanks for sharing your pup. So you could have it on the Walk the Dog, or have your dog on Walk the Dog forecasts. And temperature trend today here is just going to be warming up only into the 30s. Keep in mind our seasonal average high temperatures, lower 50s. So we're going to be well below average out there today. And we're going to be keeping an eye on the snow, which is just to our south. If you travel down I-29 into eastern South Dakota today, it's going to be tough going once you cross over the border, as there's some snow just south of Sisseton, made around Millbank area there. So that's all the way down to Sioux Falls, dealing with some rain. When I come back here in a little bit, I'm going to be covering more of this snowstorm, kind of go over this a little bit more in depth for you, give you an idea how much snowfall we'll be seeing here and how that'll impact travel as we close out the rest of the work week. And I'm going to let you know it's going to end up keeping us cooler afterward as we look ahead toward the weekend.
Well, the Defense Department has allocated $1 billion to begin construction of a border barrier. It announced yesterday that 2 companies will be contracted to do the work. The biggest contract, worth $789 million, went to a Texas-based construction company. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers wants them to build 46 miles of 30-foot bollard fencing in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. A $187 million contract went to a Montana-based construction company. They'll build 11 miles of 18-foot bollard fencing in Yuma, Arizona. Both contracts include the construction of a 5-foot anti-climb plate. The projects should be completed in October of 2020.
Well, it looks like robots will have a hand in keeping the world's largest retailer running. Walmart announced yesterday it's adding thousands of new robots to its stores. The so-called smart assistants will clean floors, scan shelf inventory, and sort deliveries. Walmart has already tested the technology in hundreds of stores over the past year. It admits the expansion will lead to certain jobs going away and some employee attrition over time. Other retailers and grocery chains also plan to use robots in their stores. Labor advocates worry that this could trigger layoffs in retail. And a first-of-its-kind agreement is creating a partnership between Fargo and West Fargo fire departments.
We'll tell you how first responders are making sure road construction doesn't slow down response times.
During Unclaimed Freight Furniture's Customer Appreciation Sale, we're saying thank you with big savings. Score up to $200 rollback savings on Sealy's best-selling Queen mattress, now just $8.98. Or this Ashley Sleep Queen adjustable set for only $4.98. Buy now at unclaimedfreightfurniture.com.
Run with us on a John Deere 3E Series tractor and add an attachment or two, because it's time to turn this land and everything on it, as far as the eye can see, into your land. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Tractor packages for every need. RDO does that. Stop by to see for yourself or visit RDOequipment.com.
When I was in 8th grade is when I lost my hearing. I had been testing hearing aids all over, and right across the parking lot was Miracle Ear. So I went over to Miracle Ear. About 2 months I came back and I said, I'm 100% satisfied. And for my family members, a big difference now. And they're smiling because Daddy can hear now. And he's hearing the whole story and not just part of it.
Imagine a good morning spent with friends. What's better than that? Imagine knowing what's coming next in the day ahead. Well, I get to live this each morning together with you. Imagine that. And that's what makes it such a Good Morning America.
Hi, I'm Matt Fallon, preaching pastor at Messiah's Hour of Worship television broadcast. As kids, many of us learned the 10 Commandments. The third commandment is to honor the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Messiah's Hour of Worship is on the air to help you keep this very important precept of the Lord. Please support and attend your local church. But if for whatever reason that's not possible, tune into this channel on Sunday mornings at 11 and join us for worship. May God bless you and yours in all the seasons of life.
When severe weather strikes your community, be prepared with a WDAY Storm Tracker team. Our weather experts have the experience you need to keep you and your family safe, bringing you the most comprehensive coverage in the region. Get updates and alerts specific to your community on TV, on radio, online, and on the Storm Tracker app. When you need to stay informed, turn to the only name that matters, WDAY Storm Tracker. You're watching First News on WDAY.
This morning, Israel's election for Prime Minister is still too close to call. The two candidates are already declaring themselves the winner. Current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has 26.28% of the vote, and his opponent, Benny Gantz, has 25.97% as of 1:15 this morning Central Time. That was with 90% of the votes counted. Both sides are projected to win 35 seats each in the government. Gantz was quoted saying, "We won. The Israeli public has had their say." While at his own rally, Netanyahu said, quote, "The right-wing bloc won a clear victory. I thank the citizens of Israel for the trust."
With all the road construction projects going on in our area, emergency crews are now teaming up to help each other out. Fargo and West Fargo fire departments have a new automatic aid agreement. It allows each fire department to now respond to emergencies in the other city if needed. This comes after the community raised concerns over construction on Cheyenne Street and 52nd Avenue South. Fargo Fire Chief Steve Dirksen says it's the first agreement of its kind in the state that will last through November 1st.
And it is smooth sailing this morning for travel, Jared, but that won't be the case necessarily coming up.
No. By tomorrow morning, I think we're already going to see snow back in our area in the southern half of the valley. So not too long from now, we'll be dealing with that. It's not too far away from us right now, dealing with some snow across much of South Dakota, especially the northern 2/3 of South Dakota down into southwestern Minnesota. Very impressive systems are going to be kind of developing today in the Central Plains, and eventually this will lift northward into our area. So as we run through Futurecast today, We have some dry air to our north and east. We kind of have a northeast breeze coming off that dry air, and that's going to keep a lot of that snow just to our south, and I mean just to our south. Around Aberdeen to Sisseton could have some snow out there for today, down to just south of Alexandria, St. Cloud area. Tomorrow, though, eventually the snow will kind of lift up northward into the valley by the 9 a.m., already bringing that into the southern half of the valley, into kind of areas south of US 2 and northern Minnesota. And then into the afternoon, a lot of this could end up lifting into the northern half of the valley from around Grand Forks up toward the international border. As we look ahead toward Friday, the system still kind of moving through the region. Snow is kind of tapering off is the way it's kind of shaping up. There's still going to be some snow and some wind out there on Friday, which will make for some tough travel around there. I'm keeping a close eye on this. I'm going to be trying to get down to the hometown on Friday, so it just may be tough going through a lot of snow that will be accumulating. Also, Thursday and Friday, we do have the blizzard warnings there for eastern South Dakota, west central Minnesota, where it's going to get very windy. The toughest part of the storm for travel-wise for us is going to be Thursday into Thursday night. And the highest snow will move out of South Dakota into west central Minnesota, but not too far away from that. Fargo-Moorhead, we could be in around that 6 to 12-inch range. I may have to take the blame on this one, folks, because I ran the gas out of the snow blower a little early, I guess. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, weather impacts out there. High end for the snow, especially southern half of the valley. There's going to be some pretty gusty winds out there, especially for the southern half of the valley. And travel is just going to be very difficult continuing into the day on Thursday into Friday. Also, last time we had an inch of snow or more in Fargo was 32 days ago, and then 27 days ago in Grand Forks. What we'll be talking about next, of course, I'm going to continue to track more of this snowstorm. So not too long from now, I'll continue to go over that.
Well, gas prices are going up around the nation. What analysts are saying is the reason you're paying more at the pump. Plus,
and I'll tell you what you can expect to see during the SWAT training practice in North Fargo later today.
Replacement windows from Windows Plus will give your home the new look you want.
I know when our guys are out there putting the products in, it's going to be a fantastic installation. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 20 plus years, and just do a fantastic job from start to finish.
We bought a house in a neighborhood with a lot of other young couples. Then we noticed something strange. Oh, could you make me a burger?
Poof, you're a burger.
Everyone acts like their parents.
You have a tattoo.
Yes.
Fun. Do you not work?
So what kind of mower you got, Seth? I don't know. I have some kid comes over. We pay him to do it.
But it's not all bad. Someone even showed us how we can save money by bundling home and auto with Progressive.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto.
Make every day a Breadsmith Day. We make all of our Easter breads fresh every day without any additives or preservatives. We have a large selection of breads, cookies, muffins, and more. Have something special in mind? Ask us and we can probably help. Dare to compare and you'll see why we are so proud of what we do. Stop in today and you'll enjoy our outstanding customer service. At Breadsmith, we make over 40 different kinds of breads fresh every week. Located in South Fargo at the corner of 32nd Avenue South and 17th Street, Breadsmith, where we bake from scratch, fresh every day.
Stay one step ahead of severe weather and be prepared for the day ahead with the Storm Tracker app powered by Laney's. As conditions change, get alerts and updates straight from the WDAY Storm Tracker team with accurate weather reports specific to your area. Just search WDAY in the Apple or Google Play Store. Download the Storm Tracker app and be ready to plan your day. The Storm Tracker app powered by Laney's. Download it today.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter, a college student,
a mother, and I am an American soldier. I will always be ready
for every storm and disaster that threatens my community. I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Trusted, local, guaranteed. See why customers rave about Windows Plus.
I know that people are going to like what we're going to do because it's in our nature to do a good job and to find the right product that fits for them and makes them happy, which makes us happy too.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
It's cool out there this morning. A lot of us hanging out here in those mid to upper 20s, although a few lower 20s. 22 in Bemidji, 19 in Rolla, 22 in Devils Lakes, 29 in Fargo, Moorhead, 25 in Grand Forks. So just plan on it being kind of a chilly day coming up here. Most of us are just going to be in the 30s this afternoon. We've got a little breeze still out there out of the northeast for much of North Dakota and parts of the valley. It is a little drier wind. It's actually holding off a lot of that snow just to our south and south and west. So snow across northern South Dakota into southwestern Minnesota. I've even seen some lightning strikes pop up with this. So some folks maybe hearing and seeing some thunder snow out there this morning in parts of South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota. So we head throughout the day here, pretty quiet one. It's just going to be cool. It's kind of how I describe it for today. Overnight tonight, that's when the snow will start to move into the southern half of the valley. I got Futurecast pause at 7 a.m. So around Fargo, Moorhead, Detroit Lakes, down to Alexandria, down and even farther down toward the south is where that snow is going to be. Winds will be picking up for tomorrow, so this is coming down. It will be blowing around. So that morning commute already for the southern half of the valley could be a little bit slower, could be a little bit tougher. More snow will start to move in throughout the day. Got this pause at noon tomorrow, starting to head toward the Grand Forks area, up toward the north, and then continue to spread into much of the valley throughout the evening hour. So that evening drive home, especially the southern half of the valley, is going to be tough. If you got a little longer drive for tomorrow, plan on it being a tougher drive home on Thursday. By Friday, the system will still be around the region. It's going to be pretty blustery out there, maybe not as much wind on Friday, but I still think we'll have some areas of some snow still linger around in your Friday, which is still going to be tough going, especially with how much snow could potentially fall throughout the area. Southern half of the valley is going to see the most. Fargo, Moorhead, we could see anywhere from around 6 to 12 inches of snow, depending on if we get some bands setting up. Farther down toward the south, Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, there's hints of maybe 12, 18 inches of snow in some places in the southern half of the valley. The north, still a big question mark for how far northward that'll lift. Will be melting as it comes down, so I won't be seeing as much, but maybe enough that you still just shake your head at anyway by the end of the day. What we know so far, this is going to be a Thursday and Friday situation for the valley. We are going to have some measurable snow. There will be some blowing snow with this, especially in the southern half of the valley. Still in question is the exact amounts and how far northward this will be ending up moving on through. Quick look at that 7-day forecast. We are going to stay chilly here. And over the weekend, if you remember earlier in the week, we were looking at the system missing us to the south, so the weekend was looking warmer. Now it's colder because we're likely going to have snow on the ground. It's going to last for a little while till we can get back to melting that along the way. So expect mainly 40s for the weekend. It will be quieter with sunny sky out there, but it's just going to be cooler all around compared to what initially thought, just due to the snow now moving up into our area. By midweek next week, we should warm back up. It's just going to be some cool days ahead. And I'll talk more about today's forecast not too long from now as you're sending those kids out to the bus stop.
Some streets around North Fargo will be busy with law enforcement as Red River Valley SWAT takes over.
WDAY News reporter Bailey Verdon is live from that neighborhood to tell us what homeowners should be on the lookout for. Bailey?
Sarah, Rob, I'm right off of 7th Avenue North in Fargo, right by the 1100 block. In a few hours, this area is going to be filled with law enforcement as the Red River Valley SWAT team starts their training. Now, this training is going to happen between 5 and 9:30 p.m., but the only hours that you really have to be worried about are between 7 and 9 p.m. That's when they're going to start blocking off roads and traffic to make room for that training. Now, we've been told that neighbors, homeowners in this area should expect loud noises, loud voices, but don't worry, don't panic. It's just training, it's just practice. We've also been told that there will be firearms. Law enforcement and SWAT team will be holding firearms. However, they're not loaded. They won't have live ammunition. They're just practicing, they're just training. If you have questions, you can just ask someone on the scene. There will be law enforcement around the area blocking off roads and answering questions and making sure that the whole site is safe and secure. Now, coming back, I'll show you some video of what that training might look like. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bailey. Gas prices are taking a bigger bite out of motorists nationwide. AAA says the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is now $2.75. That's up 11% in the last month. Analysts blame the price hikes on unplanned refinery maintenance at several locations. Western states are particularly vulnerable to this as they have less refining capacity than other parts of the country.
Hundreds of thousands of deaths a year are being linked to particle matter air pollution, according to a new study. The EPA defines particulate matter as the mix of solid and liquid droplets floating in the air in the form of dirt, dust, soot, or smoke. It can come from coal and natural gas-fired plants, as well as cars, agriculture, unpaved roads, construction, and wildfires. The new study was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. It linked air pollution exposure to more than 107,000 premature deaths in the United States in 2011. According to the study, it also cost the nation $866 billion.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is set to be the host of a new game show. Coming up, we'll tell you what it's about and what challenges contestants will face.
Get 10 medium slider windows with exterior finish completely installed for only $62.40, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers.
Window World of Fargo.
Not only do we stand behind our windows,
we stand on them.
All you gotta do. Chris Jansen, live in concert. Waiting on 5 tour. Friday, April 19th, 8 p.m. Shooting Star Casino Hotel and Entertainment, Monoman. Tickets are on sale now. Call 800-313-SHOW. Go online to starcasino.com or at the Shooting Star box office. But it can buy me a boat. Chris Jansen. We take a drunk. Friday, April 19th, 8 p.m. Shooting Star Casino Hotel and Entertainment, Monoman.
Good news, savvy furniture shoppers. Your patience is about to pay off in the Amish Gallery at Home of Economy. You've waited for our famous 9-hour sale, and it's here this Saturday only. With 10, 20, even 50% off all furniture. Sofas and dining room sets, recliners, home crest patio sets. Everything's at its lowest price of the year. Be smart, be quick, and be here this Saturday only for up to 50% off at the Amish Gallery in Grand Forks and Minot. Home of Economy.
Even if you don't smoke, smoking-related illnesses cost you $593 every year. See how much we're all missing at missingitmn.org.
Walk MS brings communities together to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. Together we are stronger. Register today at walkms.org.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tony Skeving from Fargo Baptist Church. And I just wanted to take a moment to remind you that April 21st is Easter Sunday. I'd like to invite you to join us for our 10:30 service. Hope you can make it. God bless you.
Get 10 white casement windows with exterior finish completely installed for only $63.40, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers.
Window World of Fargo.
not only do we stand behind our windows,
we stand on them.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
Kind of chilly out there this morning. A lot of us below freezing. Actually, most of us are out there in those 20s, even some teens up in Rolla. It's 30 in Wahpeton is one of the warmer spots, 29 Fargo-Moorhead, 25 in Grand Forks, and still a little breezy out there, kind of out of the northeast, right around 5 to 15 miles per hour. It's not going to be super windy today, but enough to maybe notice just a little bit. So those kids out at the bus stop, it is just going to be a kind of a cool one there with mainly some 20s and still kind of breezy this afternoon and heading home. A lot of us will be kind of those mid, a few upper 30s on the top end. So cool day. Keep in mind our seasonal average highs right now, lower 50s, so well below average today. So kind of have some dry northeast winds hanging around the area today. You can see not too far away from us, there is some snow on the radar. A lot of snow kind of moving across South Dakota from around Aberdeen to just south of Sisseton down to just north of Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls just having maybe some a little bit of mix or maybe some rain showers just west of the area. And this is a strong enough system. You can see if you look closely, a lot of lightning strikes popping up right where that transitions to snow. So some folks may be seeing that rare phenomenon this morning of some thunder snow in parts of southwestern Minnesota, eastern South Dakota. It's kind of cool to see that on the radar. Maybe not cool, though, as at the time of year that we're seeing the snow. I think a lot of us are just kind of sick of that. Anyway, weather headlines. We do have the blizzard warning for eastern South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota. A lot of wind in the forecast with the snow expected for tomorrow into parts of Friday and up across the north. We're still going to be pretty windy, just not as windy as the south, and we are going to have some accumulating snow along the way. I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit on Futurecast. Snow is on the way for the valley, and we'll have some snow and blowing snow in the forecast already potentially as early as tomorrow morning.
We may have a late blast of winter headed our way tomorrow and Friday, but seasonally, warmer weather is near.
At least I hope so. Storm tracker meteorologist Lydia Bloom joins us live in studio to tell us when we could see it.
Good morning, Rob and Sarah. So far, we've seen 50s and even 60s for highs, but I found out why soon We won't need a time machine to get back to the 70s.
And go again.
3, 2, 1, cut. I forgot my opening line. One of these days will actually be warm out, I promise. But in the meantime, our region hasn't seen 70 degrees since October 18th. That's almost 6 months ago. But it might not be too much longer until we touch 70.
Over the period of record, the average first 70-degree day in spring for Fargo is April 17th. Over the past 20 years, the average is April 13th. For Grand Forks, the historical average is April 20th. And April 16th for the past 20 years. That first truly warm afternoon can happen as early as mid-March or as late in the spring as late May. When the snow is deep and lingers on the ground well into spring, 70-degree weather is just not possible.
Spring floodwater has almost the same effect as snow. It takes a lot more energy to melt the snow and to warm the water than it does for dirt. That's why the warm April sunshine goes into melting and warming that water rather than warming the temperature of the air.
But once the water drains away and the ground dries up, that first 70-degree day is certain to happen as soon as a warm southerly breeze blows warm air our way.
And here's an interesting tidbit for you. April is full of roller coaster weather, and we're expecting a snowstorm tomorrow. But on April 21st, 1980, we had a 100-degree day. Reporting live in studio, I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Lydia Bloom.
Thanks, Lydia. Well, actor Ryan Reynolds, well known for his role in Marvel's Deadpool, is taking on another venture as a game show producer. Variety shared the announcement Monday morning. The ABC show is geared toward families and will be called Don't. Contestants will be asked to compete in different challenges, both physical and mental. The only rule they have to follow is to don't do something, whether that's don't forget, laugh, slip, or scream. Each episode will feature one family competing for a cash prize. An air date for Don't has not been released. And around 35,000 drivers are going to have to funnel through just one bridge in Grand Forks today. We'll tell you how much time you should plan into your commute if you're traveling between the Grand Cities. And Jared's in next with a look into what we can expect in our upcoming forecast.
So a genie tells me I can only have one wish. Here's what I say. More wishes, please.
Gordman's is on the grow again. Look for new stores popping up all over. Hashtag got it at Gordman's.
Okay, let me know if you need me.
It's about more than how you got here. The best laid plans, the maybes and the might have beens, the what ifs and what nows, the endless decisions. All that matters now is that you're here, in this place, with these people. All that matters is this moment, when everything changes.
Real people, steal people. They want real power, real options, and real value. Right now, save $30 on the FSA 56 battery-powered trimmer with purchase of the BGA 56 battery-powered blower set. Or save $20 on the FS70R gas-powered trimmer. This season, make it happen at your local Steel dealer. Search STIHL or visit steeldealers.com.
This Saturday, big legends and big air are coming to Grand Forks when the Hugo's Toughest Monster Truck Tour Championship Weekend returns to Alaris Center with the legendary Bigfoot, the iconic Dragon Slayer, Big Air, Quad Chaos, the Wheelie King, Dirt Crew, and more. Plus freestyle motocross. Free pit passes are available at Hugo. Discounted family 4-packs are also available in advance. The Hugo's Toughest Monster Truck Tour Championship Weekend this Saturday, Alaris Center.
Justin Hartley from the new movie, Little.
Look at them taking out their cameras, which they know they're not supposed to have out right now. Go ahead.
They don't care. We're breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Plus,
can you mimic Ryan Seacrest?
this is American Idol. Brock Myers, Hank Azaria.
Just by doing that, you can see how difficult my job is, right?
Next
Live. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on WDAY WDAZ.
Fun news, Gordman shoppers. G Rewards is now Style Circle Rewards. That's a $5 payback reward for every 100 points earned, and double points for store card holders every day. And points count at Stage stores and Stage.com too. Bigger deals, smaller prices. Hashtag got it at Gordman's.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
Starting out pretty quiet for the valley, but not too far away. There's snow across South Dakota into southwestern Minnesota. We are going to have a drier day for us up here, but if you're traveling on I-29 to the south, you are going to run into snow as you get down to around the WDAY area there, or maybe just south of Sisseton into southwestern Minnesota. And even if you look closely, there's still some lightning strikes popping up here. So there's some thunder snow associated with this as this strong system is starting to move into the region. So snow just to the south of us today. As we head throughout the rest of the afternoon, still pretty quiet, just kind of chilly for us, mainly 30s out there. As we look ahead toward tomorrow, the breeze will pick up. It's going to become pretty windy, especially over eastern South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, a little closer to the low pressure system. It's going to get very windy, extremely tough travel. There's blizzard warnings out for those areas. For us up here, it'll still be windy, just not as windy. Travel is going to be tough, just not as tough as the neighbors to our south. Snow continues to live northward throughout the day. Got that pause at 5 p.m. on Thursday. So tomorrow, snow over much of the area. Some of that lingering into Thursday night, and still some snow showers and areas of snow expected on Friday. And it's still going to be kind of blustery, I think, out there on Friday. I think that the highest impacts for us in the valley, it's going to be Thursday during the day into Thursday night. And then Friday, it's still going to be tough going with some accumulation of the snow that's happening on Thursday, but a little quieter weather will eventually move in for the weekend. We should get some sunshine. We'll get to melting some of this accumulating snow, but it's going to keep us cooler just due to the melting process out there. Forecast storm totals here. It's going to be the highest accumulations in the southern half of the valley as opposed to the north. The north not expecting as much. A lot of that could be kind of melting as it's coming down, but Fargo-Moorhead, we could be somewhere around a half foot to maybe a foot of snow with the higher mounts even farther down toward the south. Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, we may be upwards of maybe a foot and a half of snow in some places with even higher mounts in eastern South Dakota. Temps this morning, back to our weather, what's going on here for you today just to help you get out the door. It's chilly. Grab the jacket, maybe a hat and mittens for the kids out at the bus stop. It's kind of breezy as well out of the northeast, and those winds will stick around here throughout the day. So kind of a breezy, cool one with mainly 30s for highs. Tomorrow, we could be around freezing throughout the day for much of the area, maybe just a little bit above that. Actually, temps really not going to change much for Thursday and Friday as we have the system kind of barreling on through. So windy for Thursday and Friday with the snow accumulations out there. As we look toward Saturday and Sunday, quieter weather. We'll get to melting some of the snow already with maybe a shot at some showers as we look toward Tuesday next week. In Grand Forks, we will be just having some cool weather here. Mainly 30s to close out the work week, 40s over the weekend with sunshine. And then next week we may get a little bit warmer than the southern half of the valley because we'll likely be melting that snow a little bit faster as we're not going to see as much across the north. What we'll be tracking next, you got the weekend weather outlook again. Got to go over that and talk about how temperatures will be impacted here by this snow.
People living in a North Fargo neighborhood should expect some loud noises later on tonight as the Red River Valley SWAT team starts training.
And WDAY News reporter Bailey Verton is joining us live this morning from the scene where it'll happen and to tell us what people should expect and to hear. Good morning, Bailey.
Sarah, good morning. I'm right off of 7th Avenue North in the 1100 block in Fargo, where in just a few hours, this is where the SWAT team will be practicing their drills. If you live in this area, you can expect to hear some loud noises, some loud voices, but don't worry about it. They are just practicing. They will also be holding real firearms. However, there will not be any live ammunition in those firearms. This is all just for practice, just for training. I want to show you some video we have of training from last month. You can see they were practicing explosive breaching at the old City Hall. You can see they have firearms. They will have firearms again today, but they are unloaded. Law enforcement, like the Fargo PD, will also be around to help secure the area. And if you have any concerns, you have any questions, you can just ask. I did call Fargo PD this morning and ask about homeowners living in the area, and they will be able to get home and get around the area. It's just that 7 to 9 o'clock time in which they will be blocking traffic. Again, that training is from 5 to 9:30 tonight. You really just have to worry about that 7 to 9 hours. And reporting live, Bailey Verton, WDAY News.
All good to know. Thank you, Bailey. Well, the morning commute will also be a lot more hectic in Grand Forks this morning because the Point Bridge closed yesterday. That means all 35,000 cars that cross the Red River each day in Grand Forks have to use the Kennedy Bridge. Usually, 14,000 cars use it daily. During rush hour, drivers say it takes a good extra 20 minutes to get around. Most realize there's little that can be done about it. The Red River is not expected to crest until this weekend in Grand Forks. However, the Swirly and Point bridges won't reopen right away. They still need to be inspected.
Drivers in northwest Minnesota are having a difficult time getting to some areas because of overland flooding. Water in Norman County is now covering highways. Just south of Halstead, Minnesota, Highway 75 is closed because of floodwaters. The only way to get into Halstead right now is to come down from the north. The road will be closed south from Halstead to around Hendrum. WDAY News learned that the water level has gone up nearly 12 feet in just the last week.
And we're learning new details this morning about the woman arrested at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Yujing Zhang had an array of sophisticated electronic equipment. Those included a thumb drive, a laptop, an external hard drive, and 4 cell phones. When the Secret Service examined the thumb drive, agents found a malicious file that began to install itself on a computer used to test it. When they searched her hotel room, investigators found even more. Another cell phone, 5 SIM cards that change a phone's number, 9 USB drives, and a signal detector. That's a device for detecting hidden cameras. So far, Yujing Zhang has only been charged with lying and entering restricted grounds. But prosecutors said in court they're investigating a possible espionage operation.
The Fargo Air Museum is hosting a coffee hour for veterans today. Coming up, what time former service members can grab a cup of joe and some donuts.
And Jared says snow is on the way later this week. He'll tell you what you can expect in our upcoming forecast.
I was proud of my son when he got his degree. I was proud when he got that job in the city, managed a team. But the day I was most proud was when he realized he was a farmer, like me.
We're Corteva Agriscience, the next generation of farming for the next generation of farmers. Keep growing.
It's time to turn heads in a Toyota. Turn up your tunes in the Corolla hatchback with Apple CarPlay compatibility. Turn up your tech in Corolla with pre-collision system standard. Turn up your fun in the Camry with Alexa connectivity. This spring, turn up the heat in a Toyota. Right now, lease a new 2019 Corolla for $209 a month or get $2,000 customer cash on Corolla. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It takes a team to bring the story home every day. It takes a leader to build a legacy of trust.
As the only locally owned news station in the region, we're there for you at every turn.
We're your neighbors, telling the stories that matter because your community is our community.
So when you need to reconnect, remember that we're working every day, just like you.
Trying to make a better tomorrow.
WDAY News, the only locally owned news station in the region.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher because they know a lot of awesome stuff.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
Get the better rest you deserve during the Furniture Mart's Home Essential Sale. For a limited time, save 10% on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. Or get this Ashley Sleep Queen adjustable set for only $4.98. Sleep smart at the Furniture Mart.
It's Whiskey Wednesday.
We're off the grid. Nobody knows where we are.
And it could be the one night they turn up the heat.
So what have you two been doing to pass the time?
New Whiskey Cavalier, tonight on ABC.
You're watching First News on WDAY.
Fargo high school students will likely have a completely new respect for those who served our nation after watching a documentary series this morning. Students in various grades at South, North, and Davies will get the chance to watch Lest They Be Forgotten over the next 2 days. The first screening will be this morning at Davies. An award-winning filmmaker, Larry Capetto, interviewed more than 1,000 veterans about their sacrifices they made to preserve our freedom. Following those showings, there will be a panel discussion with Capetto and local veterans. The film has been showed to more than 100,000 students so far.
And veterans will also be gathering at the Fargo Air Museum this morning. The monthly Veterans Coffee Hour is for all active or former military members. It runs from 10 to noon and includes free coffee and Sandy's Donuts. The gathering is typically held on the second Wednesday of every month. The VA Mobile Vet Center and Cass County Veterans Service Office usually offers services during the event as well.
The University of North Dakota will host a tribal chairman today for a lecture series at its law school. Mark Fox, chairman of the 3 affiliated tribes, is the 2019 Distinguished Indian Law Speaker. His lecture is titled The Challenges of Energy and Economic Development in Indian Country. Fox will speak at 1 p.m. at the Baker Courtroom in the law school.
And our positive outlook for the weather is changing a little bit with the word of an oncoming spring snowstorm, right, Jared?
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on this throughout the week. I mean, a couple days ago, it looked like it would be mainly to the south of us. Yesterday, it started lifting a little bit farther toward the north, and now it's still staying on that track. So snow is on the way. It won't be the case for today unless you're heading down into South Dakota. Then you're definitely going to be running into it. You can see it here on the satellite radar. There's still some snow around the area. They're going to be dealing with a blizzard from Aberdeen to around Sisseton to Alexandria into west central and southwestern parts of Minnesota. That's where we're going to have the strongest winds with this system, along with some heavy wet snow, and that'll be kind of blowing around. For us, we're still going to have some blowing snow. The winds just won't be as strong, but we are going to have some higher accumulations of snow, especially in the pink shaded area there, to be expected. As we run through Futurecast today, the snow will stay to the south of us. Overnight tonight starts to creep over the border into the southern tier of the Red River Valley by tomorrow morning. Got this pause at 7 a.m. for you. So Fargo into the south, dealing with the snow into Lakes Country, Minnesota. Then this continues to lift northward as we go throughout the day. A lot of wind out there, accumulating snow into Thursday night. Then this system looks like it'll kind of break up a little bit as we go throughout the day on Friday. It won't be as powerful. Still some snow out there and a breeze. Just I think Thursday will be the bulk of our tough weather here this week. Saturday, a little quieter weather. It won't be as warm. Why is that? Because I'm expecting this to accumulate over much of the area. So not too long ago, we had 50s on the 7-day for the forecast for the weekend, but we were expecting that system to stay to our south. Now it's going to be up in our area, so snow is going to be on the ground. It's going to accumulate. That'll keep our daytime temperatures cooler for the weekend. So if you're wondering why we're backing off so much in terms of high temperatures, that's why. Because earlier in the week, it looked like we were going to miss this system. Now it is going to be up into our area. Friday still tough with some snow, blowing snow with 40s for Saturday and Sunday, although it will be dry. When I come back here in just a little bit, I'll be going over today's weather. It's going to be kind of cool, breezy, kind of like yesterday, and of course going over more of this system that's on the way.
In just a few minutes, we'll check out that full weather forecast.
And we'll tell you what you need to know before you leave the house this morning.
Don't miss the big warehouse clearout going on now at Conlon's. Everything's on sale store-wide with savings up to 70% off. One-of-a-kind closeout and overstocked items. Plus, ask about 60-month special financing. Hurry in for the best selection during Conlon's big warehouse clearout.
It's a musical. Something Rotten is an explosion of musical joy.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
It's got the most laughs, the most singing and dancing, the most surprises. And 10 Tony Award nominations, including Best Musical.
It sounds impressive, doesn't it?
See something hilarious at Something Rotten.
May 1st at the Fargo Dome. Get tickets today at fargodome.com.
The toughest truck in the Northland is back for a limited time. Don't miss the Northland Edition F-150, America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's got best-in-class towing and payload, also best-in-class horsepower, plus other smart features to tackle whatever the Northland throws your way. Don't miss your chance to get a 2019 Northland Edition F-150. Get over $11,000 in total savings plus $750 Northland cash on a Northland Edition F-150 at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Life's journey can be a long and difficult road, and even harder when you try to carry a heavy burden alone. Depression, grief, addiction can weigh you down. But if you share your burden, your load will lighten. With help, life's journey is always easier. For over 35 years, ShareHouse has provided experienced and caring chemical dependency and mental health treatment to those in need. ShareHouse, trusted for recovery.
When severe weather strikes your community, be prepared with a WDAY Storm Tracker team. Our weather experts have the experience you need to keep you and your family safe, bringing you the most comprehensive coverage in the region. Get updates and alerts specific to your community on TV, on radio, online, and on the Storm Tracker app. When you need to stay informed, turn to the only name that matters. WDAY Storm Tracker.
Don't miss the big warehouse clearout going on now at Conlon's. Everything's on sale store-wide with savings up to 70% off. One-of-a-kind closeout and overstocked items. Plus, ask about 60-month special financing. Hurry in for the best selection during Conlon's big warehouse clearout.
Kirsten Keeley, WDAY News.
This morning, kind of cool out there. A lot of us hanging out in the 20s to kick off your morning, even some mid to lower 20s in a few places. Rolla just climbed up to 21, or at 19 not too long ago. It's 29 in Fargo Moorhead. A little breezy this morning. It is a drier wind out of the northeast, kind of holding off that snow today. It's down across South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota. It's going to stay down to the south of us for today, but tomorrow this will move into our area. By tomorrow morning, snow will be in the southern tier of the Red River Valley. Got this pause at 8 a.m., so a little over 24 hours from now, and then it'll kind of lift up in there. A lot of wind, accumulating snow is in the forecast for us on your Thursday into Friday. We could see around 6 to 12 inches of snow in Fargo Moorhead, with even more to the south. So plan on some very tough travel around the area for Thursday into Friday. Toughest part of the storm for us is going to be Thursday into Thursday night, but definitely keeping an eye on things. Then kind of a cooler weekend.
A lot of snow, Jared.
I know.
Thanks for starting your day here with us.